Goodbye, Fortnite Chapter 6. The chapter that had the most potential and completely destroyed it within one season. So today I'm going to talk about the things that I liked about Chapter 6 and the things that I did not like, which unfortunately for the game outweigh the things I like. It had a lot of good qualities, what you're seeing right now in the trailer, the hit scan coming back, but yeah, there were also a lot of bad qualities. So I'm going to get into all of it today as Chapter 6 leaves today, the time of recording this. I'll upload this video before the live event, so I have no idea how the live event is going to go. But it's supposed to be a very good story event and a full-length one. So I'm assuming it's going to be good. So I'm going to, keep that in mind when making this video. So without further ado, let's say goodbye to Chapter 6. Alright, I will start with the things that I liked about Chapter 6. So, Season 1. I really enjoyed Season 1, although somehow I managed to play that less than Season 2. That's still mind-blowing to me. But Season 1 I really liked. Godzilla. I love Godzilla. I freaking love Godzilla. That was so awesome. To be able to transform into him and, smash around the map and stuff, that was very cool. I loved the way the story started in Season 1. I loved the loot pool in Season 1. Hit scan coming back, of course. That was great. An amazing decision that, reverted a horrible change that was made in Chapter 5, a.k.a. the worst chapter of all time. This is second worst, but it ain't as bad as that fifth monstrosity. And going back to Godzilla, I actually loved the transformation events in this chapter. So like Megazord, the Star Destroyer, all that stuff. I loved that stuff. I freaking loved it. Godzilla being my favorite. Superman, he was up there, although I didn't really use him in a real game. There's a part of me that doesn't like those because if you try and get it, it really sacrifices your entire game. You either die or you're in a terrible position if you somehow survive, and you're most likely being attacked by it, right? By the transformation thing. So there's a part of me that doesn't really like it. But other than that, super freaking cool. And I think they started the story pretty well. But yeah, after that, in Season 2, it went downhill for me. Another thing I liked was the map, but only for one season. Again, I say Season 2, it completely went downhill. But in Season 1, I loved the map. It was still pretty big, which was a problem, right? But I think there were enough POIs, right? The POIs were cool. They were brilliantly themed. I loved the whole Japan theme to start off, right? And I just loved the vibe, man. The colors, everything. It looked really good. And for a new map, it played really good. But then again, it got completely ruined a season later, what you're looking at right now. With the new POIs from Season 2, Season 3, their POIs were okay, but still not good enough. And then Season 4 just further added to the downfall of the map. But yeah, the new weapons, some of them I did enjoy as well. Some of them I, of course, did not. But there were probably a decent amount of positives in this chapter to say that it was better than Chapter 5. It's definitely better than Chapter 5. There's not a there's not a chapter that is worse than Chapter 5. I don't want to hear anything about Season 1. I don't want to hear anything about Chapter 5. It was the worst chapter of all time. That was as far from Fortnite as we will ever get. And I ain't hearing anything out. So, yeah, that's also a positive. This chapter was better than Chapter 5, but it didn't have to do much to achieve that. So positives I'd say were, new things added like the sprites, the transformations, the story's direction, because even though it's kind of hard to follow it these days, the story does have slight direction. And it is actually really building up to this finale event that we have today, which is supposed to be really good and filled with lore. So that's a very big positive. So storyline, the map at first, the new items like sprites and transformations, stuff like that. The loot pool, I think, was decent most of the time. And hit scan coming back, I think those are all my positives. Now we get into the negatives, and this is where it gets fun. Right off the bat, a negative could be the story. And I know I just said I liked the direction, even though there was, you know, a little bit of it. But again, the story is still not as good as it used to be whatsoever. At all. At all. Maybe it will be after today's event. Again, this is before the event, so I don't know. Hopefully it is. Because I'd love nothing more than for Fortnite's story to be just back in full motion. And I'm confident that after the event today, it might just be. So, but yeah. The story is kind of like 50-50. It's both positive and negative. Like, it's getting there, but it's still not as good. Another negative, the POIs, man. They just don't hit. They don't hit at all. They really don't. I don't like the way that they kind of just replaced POIs and shit like that, and then like the next season, like, oh, that POI is gone suddenly. Like the Lair one that looked exactly like Lavish Lair, and that's a horrible POI. Was in one season and then gone a season or two later. Dude, that's terrible. What are you doing? It's like they didn't want to keep POIs. Now, they did update them from time to time. That was good to know. That was good to see. But yeah, I mean, the POIs on the map after Season 1, in my opinion, just did not hit. And they haven't hit for a while now in Fortnite. All right, another negative. Medallions, definitely. I've always hated medallions. I'm glad they got removed. I really hope they never come back. It's kind of looking like that might actually happen. Hopefully. If medallions never come back, woohoo, that's amazing. I'll fucking take that. They did get removed, though, so, you know, that was a slight positive, but they were in 80% of the season, or the chapter, so, yeah, that's a negative. Also, the map's size and the downfall of the map. Map started good, went to complete shit at the current rate, and now people just want to leave it. They keep doing this, bro. They keep ruining good maps. They keep doing it. In Chapter 3, they fucking did it. With the Chrome, oh my goodness, that was terrible. Chapter 4, they ruined it with the jungle. They got to make smart changes to the map that make sure it stays good throughout the chapter's length. That you want to make sure people don't want to leave the map at the end of the chapter, because like 3 times in a row we've just wanted to leave the map. It sucks. It really does. So map's direction and map's size, way too big as well. Okay, and then I think my final negative, the fucking collabs. Fortnite has been pushing out so many collabs over the last couple of months. More than I think they did at the beginning of the year. It's insane. There's a collab every single week. And although that's cool to see these characters in Fortnite and stuff like that, right? Dude, just the amount of collabs makes me think that that's all they care about. Like, they're adding so many collabs these days that I'm starting to think that that's genuinely all they care about. Like, that's like one of their top priorities. Get a collab out because it makes us money. That really is, honestly, a thought that's come into my mind recently. Epic Games is starting to get greedy, I think. They're adding a lot of skins that could simply be styles into the item shop. So we're money grabbing there, right? The constant amount of collabs is kind of, it's a little crazy. Like, slow up on it. Make it feel special, right? Because these collabs can come in and be forgotten because the new ones come in a week later. So I'd say that's definitely a negative. The new modes being added in that we don't really need, that's a negative. The fact that freaking Lego music, rocket racing is still in the game, that's a negative. At some point, you just gotta let it go, bro. Metaverse ain't working. It won't work. Just let it go. I'd say those are a couple more negatives, and honestly, that might be it. So all in all, Chapter 6 had a great Season 1 that I wish I played more. I actually miss Godzilla. I really do. But after that, it went completely downhill. I didn't even talk about the freaking Star Wars season, because why can you, bro? Why can you? Horrendous season. What is there to talk about that other than bad things? The event was decent, though. I will give it that. The event was decent, but yeah, not a good freaking season. The majority of the people didn't like that, and we didn't even get lightsaber pickaxes, so you have that. But yeah, Chapter 6, I'm putting it 5th in all the chapter rankings, of course. Chapter 5 is the worst of all time. There's no arguing that. Let me know where you guys would put Chapter 6. Let me know if you guys liked it. I don't think a lot of people did, to be honest. And hopefully the live event is very good, but it won't change anything for me and how I feel about this chapter. But I'm hoping it's good. And I will see you all in the Simpsons season.